Hello and good afternoon and welcome to Tab York Live. I'm Elliot Rich and each week I'm going to be joined by a number of prominent business leaders in the York region. We're going to be holding short interviews on topical subjects, and this week I'm delighted to be joined by one of the founders and directors of York Gin. I'm joined by Harry Cooke. Harry, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Elliot. Hope you're well.
Yeah, good. Great to see you today. Harry, we're going to be talking very much about investing during a pandemic. But first of all, I think for everybody viewing and listening, it'd be great to have a quick overview about York Gin.
Yeah, sure. So we're a distillery based in York. Kind of the core of the business is obviously distilling. We've got lots of award-winning gins that we're very proud of. So we've got about 5 full-time staff at the distillery. So that's kind of our core venue. Off that, we've also got a retail shop in the centre of York, which won the best shop at the Visit York Tourism Awards last year. And then finally, we do quite a lot of events. So that might be things like, having a bar at the beer festival, or even it used to be going around to people's homes and doing tasting events with them, things like that.
That's super. Harry, thank you very much for that quick overview. So we are here to talk about investing during a pandemic. But first of all, I'm very keen to understand, what you did last year. Very difficult year for your business, particularly your main income stream. The retail shop on pavement was closed for a number of very difficult months. So just talk us through what you did to survive last year.
Yeah, I think initially, nobody really knew the extent of what was going to happen. So right at the beginning, we kind of moved to protect the business. We assumed it might be a 3-month closure. So we planned specifically to mothball some of the main projects that we were working on, just to kind of get through. And also we furloughed quite a lot of our staff early on. So I think protecting the business was probably our core goal. But once it was clear that it would be a lot more long term, we tried to kind of pivot into new areas. So obviously retail was our largest income stream, but we shifted on to online. So, I think a year and a half ago, our website was probably more of just a marketing platform rather than actually a shop. So we moved it to actually be, one of our main revenue streams. We also looked to set up quite a few different online events, doing events and having, kind of experiences that people can enjoy is quite a core part of our business. So to be able to do some online events over Zoom became much larger part of what we did.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, Harry. I mean, last year was an incredibly difficult year, and I'm sure many people listening can relate to the plans that you had to put in place. But I think the success story was really around what you did beyond that, what you did to invest, what you did to ensure not only survival but to thrive into this year and build a very strong platform. So very interested in your thoughts on those plans in place.
Yeah, definitely. I think once we actually got through that period, it was certainly a time to invest. The very first thing that we did was actually look at our staff and invest in our people. We obviously didn't want to lose anybody. But the first thing we did was actually hire a sales manager. So Adam has been out there kind of drumming up new business and kind of trying to look to this year to figure out where our main revenue streams would be. So he's been fantastically successful in signing quite a few new deals with people who are ready to open in the new year, things like new bars that are opening in York and trying to get on their cocktail lists and things like that. I've also pushed some of our new products. So the chocolate and orange gin was really successful over Christmas. So we've actually decided to keep it on. Quite a few of the bars in town have now integrated those into their cocktails, which is fantastic. We also spent quite a lot of time looking at all of our processes. So what we wanted to do was to free up a bit of the time that our staff were doing in monotonous tasks and giving them a few more exciting opportunities. So we've done things like applying for a PAPI loan to help us get some manufacturing equipment. So that will help with bottling and labelling and things like that. The next thing we did was some contract distilling. So actually yesterday we had our first third party come up to the distillery, and we've designed and developed a new gin specifically for them. So it was a very kind of collaborative experience. So that was a lot of fun and also uses up a little bit of our flex capacity. So obviously, you know, the still's just sat there not being used every now and again. So it's really good to be able to use that for other projects. Also, we've been, you know, we've actually got quite a few different projects on the go. You know, I think you kind of forget that Brexit happened throughout all of this as well. So quite a lot of our time has been spent trying to figure out how to get more locally sourced products, you know, including things like the glass bottles that we use, to our packaging. You know, we're actually looking to a lot more local British companies for quite a lot of our products now.
That's really super. I'm really inspired listening to you today, Harry, because you know, so many people have struggled with their business and their livelihood in the last year, and you know, it's very inspirational to hear about the journey you've had with the high street suffering so much as they have done over the last 12 years. But it's a credit to yourself and the directors and the partners at York Gin. You've managed to produce award-winning, I think, global award-winning gins this year, and I know you have many exciting plans going forward. So my only one regret is that we're sat here remotely. We're not in your retail shop tasting some of those finest gins that you have, but hopefully we'll be doing that very shortly. So Harry, thank you for your you know, for your insights and sharing with us your plans for the future. That's very much all we have time for today. So a special guest, Harry Cooke, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
And there will be more Tab York Live next week. We're going to be talking about the future of the York High Street. So very relevant, a follow on to today. And I'll be joined by Max Reeves from the Helmsley Group. So from Harry and myself today, this is Elliot Rich with Tab York Live. Thank you and have a great week.
Cheers.